Hey guys, Stevo here, back on the YouTube. So this is going to be the introduction to the Harley walk around. I've been really busy building this bike. I haven't really taken clips of any of it, mainly because it's just taken so long to do the actual work and I didn't really want to extend the length of the project purely because I was doing YouTube videos. So sucks for you guys, but is what it is. So yeah, I'll just do a bit of a walk around now and show you where I'm at with the bike, what I've done, what I've got to do ahead of me, and yeah, we'll go from there. So here it is. I'll give you a basic introduction of the bike. It's a 2008 883 Harley Davidson Sportster. The guy I got it off was actually racing flat track on it. So as you can see, it's got the 19-inch rear wheel with the flat track tyre. I've changed the front back to a street tyre. Plan on leaving the 19 rear purely because I like the look of it. As for how it handles on the road, we'll see. So yeah, I've stripped it back. I've put new risers and stuff on, given the forks a clean up. I've had bits and pieces powder coated like the triple clamps and the side covers that aren't on at the moment, foot pegs, stuff like that. You're probably wondering why I didn't get into Cerakoting stuff on this bike. The main reason was that I knew that would be a can of worms that would end up chewing a lot of time and effort, and just kind of wanted to do a basic build to start with, get the bike on the road, and then maybe down the track do a bigger build or just chip away at it over time. So that's the reason why. So on the bench here, I've got a whole heap of parts ready to go. I'm kind of at the fun stage now where I've got the majority of the hard work done and it's just a matter of putting the bike back together. So I'll start here. This is a full 2-into-1 stainless 304 exhaust system that I've built from scratch. It's probably taken me about 3 days work, bit of effort, but should be pretty cool. Got my laser cut logo on there. Over here, this is the original seat that I reshaped and then had North Coast Custom Trim redo the cover. Again, got my logo on there, pretty stoked on that. Here's a crash bar that I built. It's good to go. It's been powder coated black. They're the shocks that were on it. Don't know if they're any good or not. They're genuine Harley Davidson ones, so they might be all right. They're 14 inches long and the springs were orange, but I've powder coated them black just to make it look a bit cooler. eBay headlight. I've built myself a headlight bracket because I didn't have one. Had the gear shift powder coated black as well. And then these parts here I've just picked up from the painter. Fresh coat of paint on them. Wasn't planning on doing that actually, but kind of thought to myself, well, I've come this far, I might as well, you know, go that extra step and spend a little bit of money and make it look pretty cool. So the front fender's off a newer model. The rear fender's actually off a Dyna. I got given that off a mate. Wasn't sure if it was going to fit or not, but I made it work. It's actually backwards. I might explain a bit of that later on, but yeah, a lot of work went into getting that guard to where it is, and yeah, just a genuine tank. So yeah, what do you reckon, guys? Stay tuned, we'll get this thing on the road. So we're back in the shed. It's about 2 weeks later than the first videos that you would have just watched of me sort of getting ready to put the bike back together. It's all back together now. I've taken it for a few rides over the weekend, bit of a shakedown, a couple little small issues to fix or tidy up, but nothing crazy. So yeah, here it is. I will take it outside for you guys and do a proper walk around, but I thought I'd do a bit of an introduction of it here in the shed. Also here, my mate Lee's just picked this up on the weekend. It's a 1987 FXR. Planning on doing a bit of a club style build on that as well, so stay tuned for that one. Won't go too in depth with it at the moment, but yeah, we'll definitely be posting some more shit about that on here and definitely on my Instagram as well. Also, we've got this Ducati. This is a customer's bike. It's a Ducati Monster 1200S. The plan for this one is he wants me to make a new subframe, seat and tail section. So I think we're also going to do a bit of a tank chop on it as well, so stay tuned for that one too. Again, I'll be posting a lot about that one on my Instagram. We'll start on the ugly side. I've got it leaning against the shed right now because it's got the bigger rear wheel and it's a bit taller than normal. The side stand is pretty useless at the moment. I've got to either extend it or put a block or something under it at some stage, but I just haven't got to that yet. So yeah, we'll start at the front and work our way back. On the front, it's a 19-inch 9-spoke mag, standard rotor. It was in pretty bad shape to look at. So I sandblasted it and then painted this center in heat-proof paint. Hasn't really run in yet, but it should be looking pretty good soon. Cleaned up the forks, stripped all the crappy paint off. Front caliper is standard. The front fender's off a newer model. Not sure which model exactly, but it fit up. Shortened the fender, it was a lot longer. And I also re-drilled the mounts here and got the fender sitting a bit closer to the tyre because I don't really rate that gap that they usually have. Yeah, we've got powder coated triple clamps. I redid the steering head bearings, all balls kit, eBay headlight. It's actually got blinkers in the side as well. That's there. You can sort of see the blinkers. What do you reckon, Alf? Yeah, as I said earlier, I made that headlight bracket. The bike didn't come with one, so I kind of made my own. Picked up the standard position of the mounts and just allowed me to run that eBay headlight. What else have we got here? So these risers, I got them from my mate Beanie. I think they're 8-inch. And then we've got Renthal fat bars. Not sure of the bend. It'd be written on there, but I'm not pulling it apart to find out. Pro Taper grips, standard controls and everything. Standard mirrors in chrome. I got them off Jake Moore. Thanks for that, mate. Down here, we've got the crash bar. I built that myself. I got the parts, the gussets and the side plates from Beanie again. The knobs I got from Held South. Same for the rear slider as well. Yeah, with the motor, it was painted by someone at some stage in like a satin black. It was pretty average looking. And again, I didn't really want to spend the time and money and effort to pull the whole motor apart just to coat it again. So I've just sprayed over it again with some heat-proof paint. I know that's not really ideal, but for now it sort of looks okay. Yeah, up here I've done the coil relocation with ignition as well. So typically they mount up under here, and then you've got these big plastic covers that cover all your wiring. Looks pretty ugly. Yeah, just bought that kit, relocated that. The actual coil was really scabby and dirty looking, so I got this. It's like a bumper ink dye stuff used for like recoloring bumpers on cars. I used that to sort of restain the coil to make it look kind of new, and I did the brake reservoir as well, and a few other bits and pieces. I think I did the air filter cover as well. Freshly powder coated side cover, powder coated gear lever and foot peg. As for the frame and the swing arm, I actually painted them as well. I used an epoxy enamel. I had the swing arm completely off and I put new swing arm bearings in while I was at it because they were pretty shot. The rear brake is another standard rear brake, but the one that was on it, this front pin here was pretty flogged out, so the whole caliper had a lot of play. So I sourced a bracket and caliper off eBay for a pretty reasonable price and threw them on there. And I got some fresh pads in there too. The rear rotor wasn't too bad, so I just left that. Later on I might be able to coat it up like I did the front one, but The shocks, as far as I know, they're off Harley Davidson XL883L. They're 14-inch long. Springs used to be orange, but I coated them black. Looks a lot better. They seem to ride okay. The rear wheel, so it's a 19-inch 13-spoke front mag off a Harley, and then it's got the adapter kit to turn it into a rear wheel, which is like a flat track setup type thing. It's got a Shinko rear tire on it, and it's trashed already, and I haven't even ridden it yet, which is great. Okay, so the rear fender, I was given it to me off a mate. It's off I think a 2009 Dyna Street Bob. Typically the Street Bob fender's pretty short, but I wanted that kind of chopped down factory fender look. So I got the fender because I was chasing fenders for ages and couldn't really find one to suit this model. So when I got that fender, I had to widen the rear frame slightly to make it fit. Once I got it to fit, I then realized that if I turned the fender 180, I could actually get it to sort of look like a factory fender. So I did that, and then I did the chop through here, and at the back there, sheeted it up with some 3mm plate, welded it all in. Spray Attack did the paintwork for me. Pretty stoked on it. It was a lot of effort dicking around to get that fender to work and look right, but glad I went to the effort because it really turned out pretty good. So on the back here, I've got the all-in-one license plate with your tail lights and everything in it. Got that through Farrows. Cheers for that, mate. Pretty stoked on it. It's a pretty clean setup. Yeah, as I said earlier, the seat, it's the standard seat that came on it. The shape of the seat wasn't too bad for what I wanted, but it was really wide at the base and pretty like thin in the center. So I trimmed the sides down and got the shape kind of how I wanted it, and then Cam at North Coast Customs filled the actual seat part in and then did the cover for me with the embroidery on the top. Pretty pumped on that. It looks really good. It's got the chain conversion kit that was done by the previous owner. Yeah, so this is the exhaust that I built. 1 3/4 headers, 2-into-1 merge collector. It's 2 1/4 inch through the inside of the muffler, 4 inch on the outside. Pretty stoked on it. The bracket came out pretty nice as well, kept it all clean. And then it's got 2 spring mounts on the inside. Keep it all looking pretty nice. I sharpened up the rear brake pedal and gave it a bit of a polish. Came out pretty nice. What else have we got here? Powder coated oil cover, oil tank cover, powder coated air filter cover. The crash bar's powder coated as well. Yeah, the standard tank. Spray Attack did the paint for me. The sprocket cover here, I trimmed off a bit of excess meat off it and gave it a bit of a brush finish. It was painted before, but it was really scabby, so kind of not the exact look that I was looking for, but